Hello, St. Andrews, and welcome to this week's edition of Chancel Chat. It's Wednesday, the 25th of July. It's the feast of St. James, the Apostle, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that later on in the Chancel Chat, but he is our saint of the week this week, and his feast day is today. Just wanted to begin by telling you that Susan and I will be leaving for our summer vacation tomorrow morning. We'll return on Friday, August 10th, and in my absence, our priest associate, Father Tin, will be taking services on those two weekends, this coming weekend, the 28th and 29th of July, and then the 4th and 5th of August. And Father Tin and Deacon Joe are available in case of pastoral emergency during my absence, so please don't hesitate to call Chris if you have a need to see either Deacon Joe or Father Tin during my vacation. Wanted to begin by just giving you a brief report of our Christian Education, Christian Formation Forum, a summit meeting which was held last night in the parish hall. We had 15 people present, including Mother Jane Gober, who is the new interim rector at Grace Church in Pemberton, and she happens to be a very experienced Christian educator and has served for about 20 years in that capacity. So she contributed quite a bit to our conversation last night. I'm not going to go into any great detail, but two things that I'd like to mention, two decisions that were made that will affect all of us moving forward. The first is that we've decided to break with tradition. Normally, Welcome Back Sunday is always the first Sunday after Labor Day. Has been in the past here at St. Andrews, but we decided to move it to Sunday, September 23rd, a couple of weeks later, to give us a little more time to do the planning and preparation for that event. But the schedule on that day will be the same, 8 o'clock service, 10 o'clock service, and then after the 10 o'clock service, we'll have a very special coffee hour, and it will provide an opportunity for folks to have some good food and fellowship and reconnect with their fellow church members after a long summer. So please mark your calendar and plan to be here at St. Andrews on Sunday, September 23rd. The other decision we made was to launch a pilot project this fall involving a small group ministry. We're going to try to develop a series of small groups that will meet on a monthly basis for a simple meal, some Bible study or faith study, and then conclude with a time of prayer and worship. And this fall, I'm going to be, after I return from vacation, recruiting 5 group leaders who will be trained, and then they will in turn recruit folks to join their groups. Now, many churches have found that this small group ministry has been incredibly helpful in terms of their development of their Christian formation program. So, you know, we're going to try it and see if it works, see if it helps and it makes a contribution to our efforts to make disciples here at St. Andrews. So you'll be hearing a lot more about the small group ministry moving forward, but I just wanted to give you a heads up because it was something we talked about last night at our Christian Formation Summit, and I'm excited about it. I think it has great potential to really make a significant contribution to our overall Christian formation efforts here at St. Andrews. Let's see, nursery volunteers, you've been hearing a lot about that in bulletin announcements and in church over the last couple of weeks. Last night we learned that we now have 20 volunteers who have agreed to serve, and we also decided that we need to change the terminology. Rather than speaking of nursery, because nursery implies small children between infants and up to age 3, but we want to be more inclusive than that. So we're going to provide childcare for parents who need that in order to attend the 10 a.m. service here at St. Andrews. And the childcare will begin on Sunday, September 9th, which is the first Sunday after Labor Day, and we hope that we'll have a fully staffed childcare team that will provide that service beginning on September 9th. A reminder that our annual church picnic will be held on Sunday, August 26th at the Smithville Park. We'll begin with a celebration of the Holy Eucharist at 10 a.m., followed by our church picnic. So we will have services here at St. Andrews at 8 o'clock. There will be no 10 o'clock service here at St. Andrews. The 10 o'clock service will be at the Smithville Park and followed immediately by our church picnic. I want to close by sharing some information that I just learned yesterday, and that is that the Janney family, Dominic, Elizabeth, and their 3 girls, are making a trip to Puerto Rico early in August to help a small church on the island to rebuild after the devastation of Hurricane Maria. Now, you remember that terrible hurricane back in September of 2017. It was the worst natural disaster ever to strike the island of Puerto Rico. And people are still rebuilding, still trying to recover from that terrible storm. So the Janneys are going down, and they're going to try help this small congregation to rebuild. And they've asked members of St. Andrews to help contribute Visa or MasterCard gift cards in any amount. And those gift cards will be used to help the people purchase the things that they need to rebuild their lives. So the Janneys have asked that if you're interested in participating, that you contribute, you purchase either a MasterCard or Visa gift card and see that they get it before August 10th. They're going to be leaving for Puerto Rico either on the 10th or the 11th. So this is a great opportunity to do something significant and to help Dominic and Elizabeth and the girls respond to the needs of our sisters and brothers in Christ in Puerto Rico. So we encourage you to participate if you are able. So that's about all I have today. The saint of the day, as I mentioned, St. James, the apostle. James was the first apostle, first of the 12 apostles to be martyred. He was executed by King Herod Agrippa, who was the grandson of Herod the Great, not the same Herod that beheaded John the Baptist, however. James was a member of Jesus' inner circle, the executive committee of the apostles, and he, along with his brother John and Peter and Andrew, they were often with Jesus at very critical moments, like on top of the mountain of Transfiguration, or were present when Jesus healed Jairus' daughter, and they were also present with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane on the night before his passion and death. St. James is the patron saint of Spain, and the remains of St. James are claimed to be buried in the crypt in the great cathedral of St. James in Santiago. Susan and I have visited that cathedral on 2 occasions, once in 2014 and then again in 2016. So today we remember one of the great saints, the patron saint of Spain, St. James, the son of Zebedee. So that's about all I have for today. Wishing you and your family a continued peaceful and safe summer, and we'll be traveling tomorrow, so please keep us in your prayers. And next weekend, or sometime around the middle of next week, I'll be doing my Chancel Chat from Cliff Island, Maine. So until then, God bless you.